In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, Vietnam and Indonesia strengthen parliamentary cooperation. Vietnam's high-quality rice stands strong despite global competition. And in a world news, Zelensky meets with Saudi Crown Prince before US-Ukraine talks.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is currently 3 p.m. local time and you're tuning in to 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Dylan Lei with the latest updates. Now on Tuesday morning, Party General Secretary Theo met with Puan Maharani, Speaker of Indonesia's House of Representatives. Both leaders praised the ongoing relationship between Vietnam's National Assembly and Indonesia's House of Representatives, agreeing to continue deepening exchanges at all levels. They discussed sharing information and experiences and working closely together to support each other on international and regional platforms, contributing to the realization of the Vietnam-Indonesia Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Speaker Puan Maharani expressed her support for the upgraded relationship and was enthusiastic about the General Secretary's visit to Indonesia. During his visit, General Secretary Theo conveyed an invitation from Vietnam's National Assembly Chairman for Speaker Maharani to visit Vietnam, which she gladly accepted. After concluding his visit to Indonesia, General Secretary Theo and his spouse left for an official visit to Singapore. Under the leadership of National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, the Standing Committee of the National Assembly held its 43rd meeting Tuesday morning. The committee noted that the upcoming 9th National Assembly session will be a busy one, lasting around 2 months. During this session, there will be a period dedicated to gathering public input on proposed amendments to the Constitution and related laws. The committee emphasized the importance of thorough preparation by all ministries and sectors. A major focus will be the consolidation of local administrative units, including plans to merge 60 to 70% of the country's 10,000 communes. The session will also address the proposed reduction in land rental fees for 2024, with a plan to decrease the fees by $156.9 million, representing about 0.26% of Vietnam's total state budget revenue. This reduction is expected to significantly support the recovery and development of businesses and individuals throughout the country. The Ministry of Finance has just signed a declaration to activate the mechanism for exchanging CBC reports with partner countries, including all 27 European Union or EU member states. CBC reports are an important tool for tax authorities to assess transfer pricing risks and tax avoidance issues, thanks to detailed data on revenue, profits, income tax paid, tangible assets, and business activities of multinational corporations in each country. Vietnam has officially become the 107th signatory of this declaration. As such, the EU will not apply tax and non-tax defense measures against Vietnam, enhancing its international reputation and creating a favorable environment for business. Global rice supplies has reached record lows this year after India, the world's largest rice exporter, lifted its export ban. While India's market returns has impacted rice prices, including Vietnamese exports, local exporters note that 80% of Vietnam's rice exports are high-quality varieties, which should be less impacted by price fluctuations. Experts predict Vietnamese rice prices will recover in the second quarter, driven by growing demand from China and the Philippines. Vietnam's rice prices are expected to recover only by the second quarter. Since the Lunar New Year, export rice prices have declined, causing domestic paddy prices to drop. As a result, rice enterprises are working to expand their export markets and find new partners to relieve this pressure.
During the first 2 months of the year, the average rice export price fell to $553 per ton, an 18.3% decrease from the same period last year. This decline reflects global rice market trends, given India's dominant 40% share of global rice demand.
India resuming rice exports has led to shifts in supply, demand, and pricing in the global rice market. The decline in both global and Vietnamese rice prices is a normal occurrence.
Recently, the Prime Minister issued Directive Number 21 to ensure balanced rice supply and demand. Additionally, he instructed relevant agencies to monitor market changes closely, particularly policy shifts in major rice exporting countries.
It is essential to continue researching, developing, and expanding markets worldwide. Beyond traditional markets, efforts should be made to access new markets such as the US, the Middle East, the EU, and Africa. Domestically, it is crucial to expand production scale and enhance capacity.
Vietnamese rice has established a strong brand identity, market position, and loyal customer base. Vietnam exports around 7 million tons of rice annually, with high-quality rice making up more than 80%, a segment largely resistant to market fluctuations.
It is essential to enhance the application of scientific and technological advancements, reduce production costs, and maintain both quality and rice yield to ultimately increase farmers' profits. Additionally, strong connections between farmers, cooperatives, and enterprises, from input supply to market distribution, are crucial.
In the Mekong Delta, approximately 6 million tons of rice are expected to be harvested by the end of April. Experts suggest businesses should focus on stockpiling purchases to both stabilize rice prices for farmers and ensure a supply of high-quality rice for export.
Vietnam's wood and wood products exports reached over $2.5 billion in the first 2 months of the year, marking a 12.4% increase from the same period last year. The United States remains Vietnam's largest market for these products, accounting for 55% of total exports, followed by Japan and China. India showed the strongest growth, with a remarkable 81% increase in exports. However, challenges lie ahead as the U.S. president has announced a 25% tariff on forest products starting April the 2nd. This move could significantly impact Vietnam's exports, given that the U.S. represents over half of Vietnam's wood export value. Despite these challenges, industry experts remained optimistic that Vietnamese companies can thrive by adapting to market changes and standards while maintaining a steady supply of raw materials. Experts emphasize that market diversification is crucial for helping businesses avoid over-reliance on a single market. However, the domestic processing industry still imports a significant portion of its raw wood materials. This highlights the urgent need to develop sustainable domestic supply sources to reduce dependence on external markets. Both businesses and local authorities are now prioritizing this issue.
Le Bien Hoa's family is among the first households engaged in forest plantation for timber in Trung Sơn Commune, Zoling District, Quảng Trị Province. After seeing the benefits of growing certified FSC timber, he has now expanded his plantation to over 30 hectares.
Growing large timber forests offers several benefits. First, it enhances economic efficiency in a sustainable way. Additionally, it contributes to environmental protection and demonstrates social responsibility. Thus, I will continue cultivating large timber forests across my family's entire available land area.
In 2007, Quảng Trị Province has just a handful of households and groups growing FSC-certified large timber forests. Today, the program has expanded to 38 sub-associations comprising over 400 members. 5 organizations now manage sustainable forests with FSC certification, with Bến Hải Forestry Company being the largest FSC-certified forest management unit in Quảng Trị.
According to the plan approved by the province, each year the company plants more than 200 hectares of large forest timber. Over the next 10 years, This will expand to approximately 1,000 hectares of large timber forest.
The sector has advised the Provincial People's Committee and the Provincial People's Council to issue various policies and mechanisms supporting sustainable forestry development. At the same time, support channels from central agencies have introduced several models for transitioning from small timber and raw wood to large timber production.
Currently, Guangxi Province has over 50 enterprises operating in MDF wood processing, laminated wood, wood chips, and biomass pellets. The province now has more than 20,000 hectares of FFC-certified forest and aims to produce 1 million cubic meters of sawn timber by 2025.
Vietnam's textile and garment exports reached $3.19 billion in the first 2 months of the year, a 1.8% increase year over year. Many enterprises have secured orders through the second quarter and even third quarter, driven by global market recovery and technology investments to enhance product quality.
This textile and garment enterprise recorded an increase in export turnover in the first 2 months of 2024. With textiles up 10% and garments up 7% year over year. This growth is driven by proactive market expansion and successful procurement of U.S. and European orders through the second quarter of 2024.
Our production materials are secured until the end of the second quarter, and we are actively working with customers to ensure a stable supply for all of 2025.
Since the beginning of the year, this company has secured many new orders. To boost productivity, it has invested in cutting, sewing, stamping, and pressing technologies and reducing manual processes.
Instead of producing one item at a time, we now make 5 or even 10, leveraging improved patterns and automated machines. We have significantly increased productivity compared to manual processes.
Experts and businesses anticipate continued growth in textile and garment exports into 2025, building on 2024's momentum. The US, Europe, and Japan are recovering, consumer demand is rising, and inventory levels are declining. Additionally, businesses have strengthened production capacity by adapting designs and investing in advanced machinery.
As the global market recovers, demand for textile products is rising. Additionally, digital transformation, green practices, and raw material diversification will enhance competitiveness and boost export efficiency.
To reach its $48 billion export goal, experts emphasize the need to develop supporting industries, boost domestic fabric and fiber production, and strengthen local supply chains. Additionally, the government must support SMEs in integrating into the global supply chain, ensuring sustainable growth.
Before we move on, let's have a look at the exchange rate between the Vietnam dong and some world currencies in today's market. Coming up next on VTV News. Vietnam promotes a digital asset framework to unlock investment. Later on, Nha Trang and Phu Quoc rank among Southeast Asia's top beach destinations. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now moving on to other important updates. The Ministry of Finance has been tasked with finalizing the pilot resolution to regulate virtual and crypto assets, with a report due before March the 13th. Vietnam ranks among the world's top 5 countries in digital asset adoption, with 17 to 20 million digital wallet holders and $105 billion in crypto inflow last year. Due to the lack of clear regulations, many Vietnamese startups register abroad before operating domestically, causing tax losses and weakening national competitiveness. A clear legal framework has become an urgent priority.
According to experts, establishing a legal framework for cryptocurrency and digital asset transactions will generate new revenue streams for the national budget.
A legal framework would allow for value-added tax and income tax collection, while also reducing risks like money laundering. I believe this could generate significant revenue.
In addition, a clear legal framework would provide businesses with greater stability, encouraging investment inflows into Vietnam.
This is a positive sign. It creates an open environment where blockchain startups can seek opportunities with clearer direction, distinguishing between permissible and prohibited activities to confidently develop their projects.
A clear legal framework will give blockchain businesses confidence to operate legally and pay taxes. With proper regulation, businesses can grow rapidly and stay aligned with global technology trends.
According to AAA, while Singapore ranks 8th globally, with 650,000 digital asset holders, its early and open regulatory policies attracted $627 million in innovation investment in 2023. Given that Vietnam ranks 2nd globally in digital asset ownership, with 21% of its population holding digital assets, the potential for investment attraction could be substantially higher.
As AI continues to transform various industries, Vietnamese startups are harnessing its potential to develop innovative solutions that address global challenges. These advancements enhance efficiency across multiple sectors and create opportunities for promising Vietnamese startups to expand internationally.
This AI-driven agri-tech startup was among 4 Asian projects featured in the 50 most innovative initiatives at the AI Action Summit in Paris this February. Its solution gained attention for optimizing agriculture and promoting sustainability, a critical global challenge.
Traditionally, farmers monitored plant health through visual observation. However, we focus on the soil. We promote a more sustainable environmental approach by preventing diseases rather than treating them.
Beyond improving their branding, addressing real global challenges with sustainable solutions lays a strong foundation for Vietnamese startups to expand internationally.
A lot of people have disease and all kind of problems nowadays with the health. That's why I work as a CTO and co-founder of an AI startup for healthcare called Connect. And there we focus on solving one of the problem is about communication between patients and medical staff.
Many challenges in Vietnam and worldwide remain unsolved, and AI offers powerful solutions. For instance, my US-based company is developing an AI tool that helps visually impaired individuals use computers and smartphones as easily as anyone else.
Breakthrough solutions to global issues have impressed ventures at major tech events, giving startups opportunities to expand their networks and go global.
I see many AI-related innovations across platforms, applications, and hardware. These technologies are highly trending, showing that startups are actively addressing AI challenges.
When we share about the ideas of our startup, when we deliver about the way that we are doing the business model, revenue model, and go-to-market strategy, we already got a lot of feedback and some kind of advice from top experts of the market. If we have more hands from the top leaders and the support from the VC and the investor, we'll have more chance to shine in the upcoming time, make for decentralized AI edge computing more accessible for everyone and every country.
Experts also emphasize the importance of researching target markets when expanding globally, ensuring AI solutions are tailored to each market's unique users and needs.
Con Tum province aims to eliminate 1,400 temporary and dilapidated homes by the end of this year. During a recent meeting with Ministry of Public Security officials, provincial authorities pledged to build and deliver new homes to low-income families and those in need. The initiative provides 60 million Vietnam dong in financial support per home, with additional local funding to ensure higher building standards. The project's completion is scheduled for June the 30th. By March the 31st, more than 2,100 greenhouse gas or GHG emitting facilities must complete their GHG inventory and submit reports to the provincial and municipal people's committees for assessment. These facilities include industrial plants, thermal power plants, and chemical facilities that emits 3,000 tons of CO2 equivalent or more per year. Many facilities have already completed this inventory ahead of schedule.
This facility completed its inventory report in February, recording approximately 28,000 tons of CO2 equivalent emissions per year. Although it has completely eliminated the use of coal and DO oil and has switched to biomass pellets as fuel for drying kilns, the facility plans to further implement energy-saving solutions to reduce CO2 emissions by 10% annually.
We've equipped advanced automated measurement systems and integrated monitoring software that will help reduce energy consumption.
Preliminary reports from provinces like Phie and Tuyên Quang indicate that about 80% of facilities have completed their greenhouse gas inventories. Regulatory agencies will review these reports and work with facilities to implement emission reduction solutions.
We've upgraded and renovated kilns to reduce coal consumption and implemented waste heat-powered electricity systems.
The ministry has submitted a green classification list to the government, along with policies governing green bonds and credit issuance. The plan includes incentives for businesses that transition to sustainable practices, enabling them to access green credit and bonds.
The greenhouse gas inventory process has proven directly beneficial for production facilities while helping Vietnam meet its climate change commitments.
Two Vietnamese destinations, Nha Trang and Phu Quoc, have been named among the top 10 most impressive beach spots in Southeast Asia, according to a recent poll by the Times of India. March is considered the perfect time to visit these Vietnamese coastal spots. Visitors can enjoy stunning beaches and top-notch diving experiences and explore a rich marine ecosystem. One of Vietnam's major tourism promotion campaigns in 2024 was showcasing the country in the U.S. as a global filming destination under the banner Vietnam, the new destination for world cinema. The initiative has already yielded results, with Hollywood Films crews selecting Vietnam as a backdrop for upcoming productions this year.
A major Hollywood production has chosen Vietnam as a filming location, after also scouting sites in Japan, South Korea, and Thailand. The selected destinations include Cat Ba and Ninh Binh. The production company behind this project is known for the globally acclaimed Throne series, which has significantly boosted tourism in countries like Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Morocco.
Vietnam, we found the perfect setting for our project, which primarily takes place at sea. The filming locations here are an excellent match for our vision.
The project also involves the producer of Kong, Skull Island, 2017, which was filmed in Ninh Binh, Quang Binh, and Quang Ninh. The movie's breathtaking cinematography left a lasting impact, attracting international visitors to these locations for years.
We hope to create another successful film that showcases Vietnam's beauty through cinema.
The Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism has pledged to support Hollywood filmmakers.
We need to work closely together to attract not only this film project, but also many others from Hollywood and around the world. This will make Vietnam a global filmmaking hub and drive tourism growth to meet the Prime Minister's targets.
Cinema has become a powerful tool for tourism promotion worldwide. Leveraging this approach offers on-location marketing opportunities, helping Vietnam push towards its ambitious goal of attracting 22 to 23 million international visitors this year.
Coming up next in our world news, Zelensky meets with Saudi Crown Prince before U.S.-Ukraine talks. And later on, strikes disrupt hundreds of flights at 13 airports in Germany. Moving over to our world news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Jeddah on Monday as Ukrainian and U.S. officials prepare for talks aimed at resolving the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Saudi Arabia, a mediator since the war's start in 2022, reaffirmed its support for international peace efforts. The talks in Saudi Arabia marked the first formal meeting between U.S. and Ukrainian officials since Zelensky's recent White House visit. U.S. presidential envoy Steve Witkoff expressed optimism about the upcoming discussions. The U.S. stock market has lost $4 trillion in market capitalization over the past month as investors grow anxious over President Donald Trump's tariff policies and their potential to trigger an economic recession. Fears of a downturn have sparked a wave of sell-offs, which intensified during yesterday's trading session. The S&P 500 plunged 2.7%, marking its biggest one-day drop this year, while the Nasdaq Composite Index fell 4%, its steepest decline since September 2022. Over the weekend, President Trump did not rule out the possibility of a U.S. recession, further fueling investor uncertainty about the impact of his trade policy on the economy. On Monday, staff at 11 major airports across Germany launched a large-scale strike, leading to the cancellation of over 3,400 flights and affecting 510,000 passengers. The walkout has caused major disruptions to air travel.
A large-scale airport staff strike has led to the grounding of numerous flights at Frankfurt Airport, Germany's busiest airport, along with major disruptions at 10 other airports, including Munich, Stuttgart, Cologne, Bonn, Düsseldorf, Dortmund, Hanover, Bremen, Hamburg, Berlin-Brandenburg, and Leipzig-Halle. Passengers were left stranded, struggling to retrieve their luggage.
We arrived here at 4:30 a.m., only to be told that staff were on strike and we couldn't check in. And now we're stuck here, not knowing what to do.
We were flying to Mexico and got a text saying all flights were cancelled. Now we're stuck here with no update.
The 24-hour strike by public service workers, ground staff, and airport security personnel has brought air travel to a halt across 11 major German airports. The Verdi union is demanding an 8% pay raise, higher bonuses, and 3 extra days off for nearly 2.5 million public sector workers after the second round of wage negotiations failed.
This week, heavy rains have triggered severe flooding across Jakarta, Indonesia, with Kampung Melayu among the worst-hit areas due to the overflowing Ciliwung River. Water levels have risen between 1 and 2 meters, forcing many residents to evacuate. Authorities have deployed rubber boats to rescue affected individuals, including children and the elderly. The floods have disrupted daily life, inundating schools and vital infrastructure. With heavy rainfall forecast to continue until March the 28th, officials worry about potential additional damage. Up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have this hour on VTV News. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.